Hey everybody, it's Scott Mitchell here with InMotion Hosting, and welcome to another episode of Community Q&A. Now this episode's question comes from Megan, and she says, I'm new to hosting and trying to understand the layout of the file manager in the cPanel. Can you explain that to me? Well, that's a good question, Megan. So this episode we're going to focus on explaining the layout of the file manager in the cPanel. Okay, so the file manager is probably the most important tool you have in the cPanel. It's certainly the one I visit the most and probably the one that you'll use the most. Now getting there is actually fairly easy. You're going to log into your cPanel, and you see I've already done that here. And you're going to scroll down till you find the Files category. Okay, under Files, you're going to find the File Manager icon, which is right here. All right, give that a click, and you get this little pop-up box. Now, the pop-up box is to figure out where you want to start. If you want to start in the home directory, which is the very, very top, generally you don't need much in there. You can start in the web root, which is pretty much where everybody starts out. This is the public HTML folder, and that is the default folder for your primary domain. Any add-on domains and subdomains and folders like that will also be under the public HTML folder, so it's just fine to start there. If you want to go to the public FTP folder, that's another option, and then document root 4. And now this document root 4 is set to the primary. In my case, it's customercommunityimh.com. But if I have any other add-on domains, then I can click this drop down here and then be able to select and go straight to the root folder for that one, which would still be under the public HTML somewhere, but it's kind of a shortcut. Generally speaking, I always start here, the public HTML. Now, show hidden files is an option, and you can see it's checked here, and I want to have that checked because folders and files that begin with a dot in their name are hidden, become hidden files. So if this button is not checked, then you will not see them. Okay, so this is the file manager, and inside the file manager, the first thing we're going to look at is the taskbar. The taskbar up top just has a list of all the different things you can do for the files and folders within the file manager. You can create new ones, you can move things around, copy them, upload, download, delete, etc. So this is the kind of things that you would normally do, within, say, your Windows file manager when you're in there. It's very similar. Down here on the right, or the left, excuse me, we have the file tree. Okay, and the file tree shows all the different folders and everything underneath my home directory, which is the topmost directory. We have these dot files. Again, those would be hidden files, but we have them showing. And then we have these other files here, folders, excuse me, this Etsy, the logs, the mail, Perl, public FTP, public HTML, which is the default folder for my primary domain, and then a TMP, which is a temporary folder if you want to stick things in there. For the most part, you're going to come in and go right for the public HTML or something under it. But it is over here, and you can open and close these and see what's inside them. Okay, so there's all kinds of little things in there. Like I said, it's mostly configuration stuff, but if you do have a reason to go into them, then you certainly can. But right now we're focused on the public HTML, that's why it's highlighted. You can also check right above here, and it shows your current location. The little home icon represents this piece here, which is, to me, is the home / my cPanel username. Okay, and I also, then after the slash here, public HTML shows where I'm focused. Again, that's what's highlighted here, so these match up. That takes us to the third section over here, which is the folder contents section. So everything you see here, folders and files, is what's inside the public HTML folder, right? So if I open up over here on the left side, you see these folders. Well, those same folders here, they match up just fine. It doesn't list the files over here on the left. That's for the right to do. So the right has a lot more detail. We have a list of all the folders, all the files. We have the size listed. We have when they were last modified, the type of file or folder that it is, and then the permissions level of that file or folder. So sometimes you might have a permissions issue and need to investigate, then you would bring this up and just check over here to see what kind of permissions level it has. They're numeric, and generally speaking, when you're talking with programs and stuff, they'll say you need to make sure a folder, such and such, folder is 755 permission. You would just match that up like this. Most of your files here are 644. They have a little bit different permissions. It's fine. Perfectly normal. And you can see here the way things are lined up, folders on top and then the files underneath. Files underneath are generally alphabetical order, so they start with the dot files because that comes first. So anything .htaccess or dot whatever, that's the dot is first. Then they come numerically. And after that, regular alphabetical order starts with A, in this case D, and on down. You can mix this up a little bit. If you want to click the name, you can resort them, but that'll mix the folders inside. They'll still be alphabetical order. Again, starting with the dot, then numerically, and then C comes before D, but it's a folder, doesn't matter. It mixes them all together. You click it again, it reverses them, so it starts at Z and goes backwards. Okay. If you want to return to the default, you have to go over here to the left side and double click that, and then it'll do it. And right above this area here, we have this little toolbar, and this toolbar kind of just helps navigate this main current content area. So if I want to go home, I click that, it takes me right to the home directory. Okay. Go back to the public HTML. If you're down here and you want to go up one level, in this case it would be the home. I would click up one level and it takes me back here. But for instance, if I'm down here, say in the WP admin folder, again I want to return to the public HTML, just click up one level and it takes me right up. So it works a lot like it does in the Windows environment. And then you have back and forward, which is a lot like using a browser. This is where I was last time. Come back forward again. That's where I am here. If you upload a file and you don't quite see it yet, just click this reload button and it'll refresh the screen for you. If you want to select everything, like you're in a folder and you want to select everything because you're going to move it or delete it or whatever, hit select all. Okay. If you aren't happy with that, you want to unselect all, just hit unselect all. Okay. And that's how you move around and navigate the file manager in cPanel. Well guys, that's it for another edition of Community Q&A. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it and subscribe to the YouTube channel below. Also, be sure to leave any comments and questions you have in the comment section below so we know what to bring you in a future video. Thanks and see you next time.
Did you know the InMotion Hosting Support Center has thousands of articles, pictures, and video tutorials to help you out with your web hosting questions? Something for everyone, from beginners to experts. Join our community and sign up with your Facebook or Google Plus for free swag, prizes, and discounts. Visit our support center at inmotionhosting.com/support.